volunteer from the audience who's going to lead us? Anybody? How about a student? How about a student?
Yes, you.
Got a great looking sweatshirt. Okay? Ready? Ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the Texas flag. All right?
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I would like to take a moment of silence. Famous this weekend lost a teacher in a car crash, a high school teacher. Eddie Berto in automotive at the high school. Anthony had a tragedy, a 7th grader lost their life. Right now, we have a teacher, AMS teacher, in the hospital, fighting for her life, Claudia Martinez Garcia, and the victims of Sri Lanka attack. I realize that we all have a choice in the world on what we bring to the table. Every day is day one. We can either bring love, peace, or we can bring hatred at Sri Lanka. But remember, we all live once. We can't stay. So I'd like to take a moment of silence for the teacher from Fabens, the student from Anthony, our teacher, and the victims of Sri Lanka. We all please stand, moment of silence.
Everybody, please rise. Thank you, everybody. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Galvin.
All right, thank you, Dr. Trustees. And now, roll call. Okay.
Yes, sir. Ms. Brigham.
Present.
Mr. Coronado.
Here.
Mr. Payan.
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Present.
Mrs. Searles.
Here.
Mrs. Trout.
Present.
And Mrs. Iglesias.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, takes us to the next agenda item. Advocate Independent School District Vision and Mission Statements. And Ms. Iglesias and Mr. Payan, would you do us the honor?
Canutillo, a premier district vision. Canutillo ISD is a premier district preparing tomorrow's best today with innovative, future-focused learning opportunities for every student.
Mission. Our mission is to create rigorous, student-centered classrooms which develop future-ready students to compete in a global economy and thrive in a multicultural world.
Thank you both. Have an item also on our agenda later on today with respect to our entire really vision and mission of the district, and that we've been going through LSG, almost our governance training. And we'll have an update with respect to that. We appreciate Bert and Dr. Galvez and our staff helping us through the process. Next agenda item.
Yes, sir. Item 2, Board Honors. Ms. Rodriguez.
Ms. Rodriguez, good evening.
Good evening, Board President Coronado, members of the board, Dr. Galaviz. Please join us in the front of the dais to begin our monthly board recognitions. On the 6th of March, both AMS and CMS chamber choirs competed at the UIL concert in sight reading evaluation and both earned the highest award for varsity category, sweepstakes. What makes this unique is that both campuses share one teacher, Ms. Alejandra Pedraza de Martinez. The Middle School of Music is on the move, and this accomplishment has vaulted our middle school choir programs into the top tier in Region 22. This has also opened the door for a special invitation from UTEP, and these two choirs will perform at UTEP. Congratulations, Ms. Pedraza de Martinez and both choirs.
Were you nervous? I'm glad you liked it. Congratulations, thank you very much. Thank you so much. You nervous? Yes, of course you were nervous. Thank you so much. I hope you did this. Thank you so much. All right.
Everybody come on.
Oh, AMS? Oh, we need the AMS. Okay, that was one.
We're going to do two separate photos.
Thank you guys. Good job. Congratulations.
We're just putting you to, yes, it is.
Oh, we're gonna come down.
Wait,
Oh, they already did.
Yeah, we already did. This is just a photo.
Come on.
Picture.
Picture, guys.
Use it for, use it for.
Stomp on All right.
your support. This could not be possible without your support and without the community support. I'm very grateful for everything that you do for these kids, for our programs. In the last 8 years I've worked at this district, and I've seen how much they've grown, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you very much, and this piece is for you. Thank you so much. Somewhere, plug it.
Over spring break, the Canutillo High School math team competed at the Texas Math Science Coaches Association State Math Team in San Antonio. For the third straight year, the team is state champs in calculator applications in 5A. The team also won UIL State last year and will be competing in this year's UIL State competition at UT Austin on May 2nd. In order to make it to state, the team also had to be district and regional champs. The team has won UIL regionals in 5 of the last 6 years. No other El Paso school has accomplished what Canutillo High School math team has done in the last 7 years at the district, regional or state level. Congratulations, Mr. Rudy Medina and his team.
Yeah. And then you guys. Okay, ready? One. I said, yeah. I know. Okay, ready? One,
White Dance Company has a lot to be proud of this year. They work hard and it shows in all the medals they bring home. Our girls placed at Superior Festivals with 5 gold medals and 1 silver. First place in Varsity Contemporary and second place Varsity Jazz and best all-around solo. In February, they competed at Sun City Dance Classic and received first, second, and third places for their solos. They moved on to compete at Nuvo in Houston, receiving 5 gold medals and 5 high silver medals for their pieces. Congratulations, Ms. Lisa and team.
I bet you were. You can do it. You can do that. Congratulations. Use that confidence. Use that
Congratulations, ladies. Congratulations to FCCLA for placing in the top 10 in the state and moving onto regionals. Third place, Hospitality, Tourism, and Recreation. 7th place, Interpersonal Communications. 8th place, Entrepreneurship. 9th place, Promote and Publicize FCCLA. 10th place, Environmental Ambassador. In addition, I'd like to congratulate the following students for placing first. Jonathan Landeros, Mia Saavedra, and Sahira Favela placed first place and national qualifier in Hospitality, Tourism, and Recreation. First place and national qualifier in Interpersonal Communication, Genesis Garcia. First place in Toys That Teach, Lisbeth Diaz, Ashley Lopez, and Delilah Brain. And your Regional VP of Public Relations, Natalia Rocha. Congratulations, FCCLA.
Thank you for representing. Thank you for representing.
My daughter teaches some
Way to go. You've got a future.
Oh, a hug is better. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, good job, good job.
Okay, hug is better.
Good job, congratulations.
Come on back. Take pictures.
Come back this way, guys, right in front, center.
Ms. Castillo?
Well, I was wondering when you guys were coming out. I was wondering about you two. Oh, thank you so much. No, it's your moment too. Thank you so much.
This is my first time to be first place in the state. And I'm very
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, oh, yes.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Come to here too. Come to the picture.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Board members, this concludes this month's recognitions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next agenda item, Sonia.
Yes, sir. Number 3, open forum. And we have 2 people that have signed up to speak during open forum. The first is Jose M. Gonzalez and Danny Quintana.
All right. Open tema. Please.
3 minutes?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I've got the timer, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, esteemed school board members of Canutillo ISD. My name is Jose Gonzalez, and I am currently the Collision Center Manager for Rush Truck Centers El Paso. Beside me is Danny Quintana. He is an aftermarket sales rep for Rush Truck Centers of El Paso as well, which we operate under Rush Enterprises, the largest commercial bus and truck dealer here in the United States. The reason we're up here is because we currently have a scenario that could have been avoided with more proactive communication on our end with the transportation department and bus refurbishes. Last August 2018, our aftermarket sales rep, Danny, came to me with a lead quoting Canutillo ISD bus refurbishes for the transportation department. The transportation department requested a refurbished estimate for 7 buses. We went out, did our due diligence, took the pictures, came up with the estimates. Most of the units had similar damage, and we talked to the transportation department, our point of contact, and he told us it was okay to provide one estimate with one price for each of the 7 units. Our estimate was made in our body shop. It was made by me, and then the text of the estimate reads the description: customer request to refurbish buses 7. Quote was given to Mr. Quintana to present for Mr. Oiguin for 7 units at a certain price. We received approval and we were awarded a PO number. Once we received approval and arranged for pickup and delivery of the buses as a courtesy, we began work on the first unit, completed, delivered, invoiced. The second unit was picked up. This was where the communication dropped off and assumptions were made. We delivered invoice and we were under the assumption that the PO number was going to be the same for all 7 refurbishes, and I was not able or did not verify the copy of the purchase order from the school district. I should have asked the transportation department for a copy of the purchase order verifying line item by line item with the PO that was approved after the first unit was complete. During the course of September, October, November, December 2018, we were under the impression that the PO number issued would be the same PO for each unit. Repairs and refurbishes were completed and invoiced, and in the absence of following a communication of work, it leads us where we are today, with one PO issued for 7 bus refurbishes. Rush Enterprises has given me the opportunity to manage their collision center here in El Paso, and I'm honored with the responsibility of managing and upholding the core values of the company: fairness, productivity, excellence, positive attitude, and integrity. We did not mean any ill will when we quoted out this proposal, and it was my bad, and I apologize for my lack of not managing and coordinating these repairs with the outside salesman, customer, and shop. Here in front of the school board, just to present my case all over again, Mr. Bruno Vasquez and Ms. Christina Poli have been very helpful in assisting me with this ongoing issue that I have going on, and would like to present it to the school board for y'all to review and see if there would be any other way to collect payment, partial payment. I know this is a government entity; it's not private, business to business sector, and I would like to give you all my documents, and if y'all have time to review them, let me know what we need to do, and if there's any other viable options, let us know. We greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would I be allowed to drop off these documents?
Excuse me?
Would I be allowed to drop off documents?
Sure.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Greatly appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right, our next speaker is Mr. Joyner.
Good evening, Mr. Joyner.
Good evening. It's good to see you guys again. Thank you for all your hard work that you do. I want to say that first of all, before I get into some other things I need to ask you about. President Coronado, Dr. Galaviz, members of the school board. I'm still wondering when we're going to undertake a study to decide when we're going to start to prepare our children to live in this multicultural world that I believe your mission statement says. I'm still barking up that same tree. Can't find out when we're going to do any bilingual education that's truly meaningful to the students who can't attend in the school district. I still don't understand why a teacher who can teach English Spanish can't teach Spanish English. It boggles my mind. I'm just not, I'm a horse trainer, I'm not an educator. Somebody needs to tell me why that water can flow one way down the pipe and they can't flow the other. I don't understand. This school board has a responsibility to educate these children. You spend lots of money. You guys can spend $1 million faster than anybody ever seen in my life. But we can't get the books and the teachers and things we need to teach these children to speak and write Spanish and English. Other school districts are teaching 3 languages. I'm just asking for 2. So I would like for this school board to undertake a study as to what it would take to get a true biliteracy program off the ground. And that's about it. There's a couple other things I'd like to talk to you guys about, but I don't have enough time. So one being our our ag center. I'm not quite sure how we got the ag center placed where it is and at the cost that it is, but again, I'm just a horse trainer, I'm not very smart. But that building is about 4 miles from where it needs to be, and about, I'm gonna say $500,000 more expensive than it should have been. That's just me. Thank y'all for your time and attention.
Thank you, Mr. Joyner.
I have one more thing. I suggested you put your award ceremony at the end of the board meeting, so the parents will stay here long enough to hear what you guys are up to. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Sonia.
Yes, sir. Item number 4, Board of Trustee business. A overview of this COSA and ASPA conference held in Philadelphia on March 27th to April the 2nd, 2019.
All right, I'll start with on this side, Ms. Rico.
Thank you, Mr. Coronado. Thank you for the opportunity. This is my first trip. I do like to go national. I like to hear what other districts. One of the things I would like to thank explicitly for the board, I went to a session, an early session, and it was before for a month. And it was all morning, and it was set up with a scenario that I think would be great for all our teachers to go through, all our administrators to go through. And what they set up is, I was the breadwinner, I was a man. I always wanted to be, okay, so I was, and then I had a superintendent from Nebraska, who was my spouse, who was unemployed. Okay? And what they did is they took 1 hour and made 1 week into 15 minutes. And they gave you the whole scenario with, I worked for a factory for a little bit over minimum wage. And so they gave me X amount of dollars to live on. I had a high school student and my father-in-law lived with me. And so they gave me a whole budget and stuff like that. And it opened my eyes. I did not grow up at all in the level of luxury by any stretch of the imagination. Didn't know these before, but it gave me a perspective that I think every teacher and administrator needs. And you know what it came across to me is that they're in crisis every day. If you're that poor, you're in crisis every day. And it was just a wonderful opportunity. So I just thought it was great. And they had this whole thing. I will write it up, send it to Dr. Galaviz, because I think we could, I think it's just one of those things that, first of all, everybody that was in there was about 90 of us from all over the United States. Not one person left. I left with a headache because I never talked to my teenage daughter. I was in crisis trying to make enough money. And my car broke down and I didn't get groceries, and it was a big mess. And it made me realize that our families are living in crisis. It just gives you a perspective. So that was an excellent. And then I did go to quite a bit on technology, sir. We're not doing enough. I think we're doing great things in Canutillo, but we're not doing enough as far as teaching our kids about the technological implications of their adult life, social media. And I think we could easily do it. I was thinking career ed, we could do component in career ed that we could apply to the text. So anyways, I went on about 4 of those different ones, and I just thought that was excellent. So thank you again. It was a great conference, and I will write that up, and I will put it in a Thursday packet, so you guys can just understand the scenario we went through. It was just wonderful.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In regards to, we were able to attend an SBA Council of School Attorneys, and on top of that, my schedule was kind of jam-packed.
For a busy bee, this conference.
So, in regards to I'll just go over some of the sessions that were on, and it's cultural wars in the public schools. What have the court said? The state of federal law and student records privacy, where we are and where we're going. The public inquiry process, a new and innovative way to address difficult conflicts. School safety, arming school staff, policy and liability issues. There was other general sessions, NSBA legal advocacy update, and legal ethics for school attorneys, board member, criminal misconduct. And then we ended off with a guided tour at the National Constitution Center, and some of the other things that we did, thanks to members from across the state. I believe many of you were present. On Saturday, I was elected to the National Hispanic Council for the National School Board Association as chair, which that will let me serve a 2-year term on the National School Board Association NSBA board, to be able to bring light to some of the issues that was mentioned in open forum, and some of the other issues that we face as a border community in regards to at a national level. So it's been, I'm a big supporter of bilingual ed, and I think it's time that we don't just have that discussion here as a border community, that we have that fully across at a national level. So that being said, I enjoyed the conference, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, and congratulations again on behalf of the board. Excellent position for you to be able to do a lot of good at the state level for the students in public education. All right. Ms. Crowder.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. I'm going to talk about one of the general sessions that we had that for me I think is very important. Like we said in our district, is our priority number one, the safety of our students. We had a speaker that day who was a teacher from Sandy Hook School that she lost her tooth, one of her kids. I just wanted to know how prepared we are as a district. And if we are, we need to know the parents that we're ready, that we are serving our community the way that we should. They're supposed to be served. Also, do we have enough of police officers that guard our students? So it's a number one priority. I'm kind of concerned because unfortunately things happen all over the world. Not only in Sri Lanka, not only in another school districts, not only in Sandy Hook. All that I want is to be prepared, that we made a plan, emergency plan, and count with the police officers that we really need to have in all our district campuses, and safeguard the most precious treasure, which is our students, our staff, our teachers, in all our campuses. So let's be aware of that, and for number one priority, let's work as an elected officers that we are, and take care of our community, our students. And thank you, Dr. Galaviz, for your support, and board members. Hopefully you share with me that same idea as I do. And let's take care of the students. Your job. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Crowder. Ms. Earls.
So my biggest takeaway, I got on a bus and was taken to Comcast. Well, I didn't realize, I felt much like a bumpkin on this. I didn't realize Comcast, I thought, oh, yeah, it's a small little cable company. No, Comcast is NBC. It's everything. And we were taken by bus to Comcast, and they're just NBC. Their headquarters are in Philadelphia. And they just finished their building for their employees is 6 months old. It's phenomenal. The building where all the executives work is over here, and it's attached by an underground tunnel. On the bus, I meet a nice man. I'm sitting next to him, and I said, "Where are you from?" And he was older than I was. He said, "Gary." I said, "No, not what's your name, where are you from?" And he said, "Well, Indiana." And once again, I felt like a bumpkin. But We get there, and the minute you enter this building, for employees that are younger than anyone that's in this room, maybe, yeah, even younger than Armando, very young. It's like teenagers. And the building is filled. It's huge. It must be 50 stories tall. The bottom floor is built out of tiny little bricks of wood, so that the footsteps of the people who are visually handicapped will know where they are. The whole ceiling has a message going across it, a positive message with these huge escalators going up, so that every day when these employees get to work, they get these wonderful messages. They have huge trees. The trees are bigger probably than any we have in town. Inside the building on the first floor, they have their ambassadors to take us on a tour. The building, every single level is different, and it's built for the special needs of the employees. And that can be small, just your social skill needs. It could be your educational needs. It could be your physical needs. Everything is around needs of the employee. They have a whole floor that is set up as a home. So if you're not feeling very comfortable that day, there's a bedroom in it. There's a kitchen in it. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. Then we're taken to, they have an entire floor that is their restaurant. And it's got herbs growing in the windows for the employees and the chefs to pick and eat and choose as they will. Then we're taken to some of their special rooms, for lack of a, like headquarter rooms, where the people who, in fact, too, these are young people, are doing the coding or doing the updating, that there's not going to be any more your handheld remote control. It's going to be by voice. I want to watch, I don't know, Leave It to Beaver, and it'll come right on. I want to see the episode where June Cleaver talked bad to Little Beaver. It comes right on. Everything was so technologically advanced, and what they were doing was so enabling to So thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Searles. Well, I have to tell you that the focus of most of what I attended, particularly the legal conference of Council of School Attorneys, dealt a lot with special education and the issues related to both, not just, the discipline and the issues related to being able to, I guess, for periods of time when you go, that it's not actually displacement, but that you're able to suspend and under what circumstances, for how long, and the county and other complications arise with respect to special ed students. And there's got to be a determination that the basis of what was claimed was what their your behavior, if it's in any way related, you have to make that determination whether it's related to their disability or an expression or manifestation of that. You can't obviously do that for those reasons. And so it's very, very tricky, very complicated. So one of the sessions dealt with that special ed. The rest of a lot of what I attended was related to school safety, including the legal issues related to our school safety issues in terms of dealing not just with our security, but also with our law enforcement, those that are actually law enforcement personnel. And so, and to that end, I'm going to have, I'm actually going to download the materials and email them to Mr. Blanc, because I think he'll benefit from some of these issues that may come up in our district. Actually, he'll be better versed. I know he keeps on top of these things, but I'll forward that to him. Additionally, there's a new center that's opening up in May, and it's related to, the preparedness for our school safety issues countrywide that we are having. And it's really a focus on not just shooters, but a multi-hazard approach. And it's not just that we need to deal with, but there's other things that we need to deal with. So, our safety, our plan has to deal with a lot of other things in terms of other hazards that we have, not just. One that opened my eyes was related to the issue of transportation in terms of buses and how we need to have maybe a little bit of a training for bus drivers in terms of being more aware and looking out in terms of things that happen. That's something that's happened today. In our district, at a bus stop. Of course, nothing that was preventable by it, but it just goes to show you that almost anything can happen nowadays anyway. And so issues that related in terms of people getting on the bus, and shootings on the bus, and you don't know how, opened my eyes to how prevalent this is, probably even more so than school shootings at facilities. So it's something that we need to be aware of. With the new center that's come up, obviously, going to dealing with the prevention, the social issues, and of course, not just facilities, but transportation and multi-hazard, not just shooters. So there's a lot to take in that I think we can be reviewing and we'll have some input with respect to when we start looking at our entire issues related to our safety issues in our schools, and not just like I said, not just our facilities, but our transportation issues. And of course, I also attended some of the sessions over at the school board conference. I spent most of the time, obviously, at the legal seminar, and we were able to, go at the end of the seminar on Saturday, go to the Constitution Center, where it just opens your eyes of how many tests our country and our Constitution has faced, and we've overcome them all. So those that are feeling a little despair about what's going on in our country right now, don't despair. We've overcome much worse. A lot worse. We've had some bills in our country, and this tour of the Constitution Center just puts you face to face, and you hear a lot of the details about it and what really transpired. And so, they make you appreciate what we've overcome, and that we're going to remain strong. So, and then of course I did attend the session where Mr. Rodriguez was elected to the Central Council, and that was a big, not just for Canutillo, but for this entire region and the state. So we're with you, Mr. Rodriguez, on your efforts. Let us know what we can do to help. Additionally, we did also attend. I attended two sessions. One of them was obviously on the census. The other one was actually a speaker at the breakfast, Hispanic Council breakfast. And again, actually, for those who didn't get to hear him, he will be here tomorrow speaking in El Paso at the downtown library. Mr. Vargas from the National Association of Latino elected and appointed officials will be here tomorrow. And I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot about the same things and what we can do, not just as a community, as a district, as a state, city, and a county in terms of our resources, in terms of making sure that we have a fair and accurate count that is coming up next year. And so that was my foray into these two conferences that I attended. Enjoyed it, but actually enjoyed the BC conference a lot because it dealt more with advocacy for special education kids. But this was certainly great in terms of giving me a good overview on school safety issues. So Anybody else? All right, thank you, board. Appreciate it. Next agenda item.
Yes, sir. The approval of a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Canutillo Independent School District to support the designation of Spur 16 in El Paso County as the Henry Gallegos Senior Memorial High.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion?
I just want to expand a little bit in regards to
Rodriguez.
the office had reached out, Representative Moody's office had reached out, and so I had conferred with the president about having say-so in regards to this. This is usually done by state legislators since it's a state highway. The issue here is that they need support from the local community for it to actually happen, and so we have a resolution before us, and if there's any questions.
Anybody have any questions?
We all know Mr. Henry Gallegos,
Of course.
Senior Henry Gallegos,
One of the founding families.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
and which was also a former
Yeah.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Without any further discussion, Sonia, will you please call the board?
Yes, sir. Ms. Brigham?
Yes.
Mr. Coronado?
Yes.
Mr. Payan?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Earl?
Absolutely, yes.
Ms. Trout?
Yes.
And Mrs. Iglesias?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, next agenda item.
Yes, sir. Item C, Lone Star Governance Update, team of 8 attendance.
All right, and this is, we kind of touched on this last night that we met for 3 hours and only finished 2 of the agenda items on our agenda for last night. But you know what, they're good discussions. Good input from everybody, and so I think we're headed in the right direction. Just to let everybody know, and of course, everybody found out last night that we are going to be able to have the board completely all together, and the team of 8 with Dr. Galvez be able to attend the Lone Star Governance Training, again, including all the 8, the team of 8 here in El Paso. Vapens has just been accepted as one of the other districts to be able to undergo the LSG training, and so it's my understanding that they were going to be sending a team to do the LSG training for us locally here, and so we will get to them in terms of the dates available, so that we can, and we're hoping that hopefully it can be sometime in, before July 5th or 6th, because of the 6-month time frame that we have to get that running. And so we're hoping that there's some dates in June that we're able to all attend. So I would highly recommend that everybody try and keep their June schedule available for us, because we're going to have to actually not have first choices, just because Patrons and the other district will be the ones that, it's geared for them, but they're going to let us participate and not charge us again for us participating, except for the 2 that did not attend the first time. So that is a very, very nice of Region 19 to the state to consider us in that regard. So just as a word of preparedness, let's try and make ourselves available. So hopefully sometime in June we can all of us be able to attend again. Okay. All right.
I just want to make sure that we're all committed to it. I think it's important for us. As a district, I know that if the board does not fully participate in these Lone Star governments, we don't get the certification from the state. And we were one of the first cohorts to get accepted by the state to actually participate in this. And so I just want to make sure that the commitment is there from the board. And those that want to go because of certain circumstances are able to make it. If we don't make it within the 6 months, I'm willing to commit to another 2-day workshop. That workshop is the underlying belief that leadership matters, that leaders' choice have the power to be transformative in the lives of our students. Before the workshop is designed as a conversation about governance behaviors that lead to student outcomes, draws from research as well as promising practices from participant experience. The 2-day workshop intends to provide a supportive space where governing teams learn about and prepare for the intense focus of student outcomes as described in the LSU Implementation Integrity Instrument. I believe that those that have it can constitute a great workshop, and so I hope that to make sure that happens.
All right. Yeah, this is actually, I've served on the board and gone through all kinds of training, both legal and what have you, and I would suggest that this is probably one of the best trainings that I've ever undergone in terms of focusing your efforts, in terms of being centered, not just on students, but in terms of their outcomes, which is what really should be all about. Yeah, we have to take care of our business, and that's part of what the LSG is also training is that it's important to do that, but that we need to give as much time or more of our time to discussing these issues to our student outcomes. And so, granted, we're not even close there yet, but that's why we need to work in that direction. And I think it's really more rewarding, and as I think we found out, talking about student outcomes and how we're going to get there and what we focus on is really a lot more interesting and a lot more for me, rewarding, because you actually get to do the work of it. You're planning to see your kids succeed. So, anyways, having said that, I think we're all committed to doing that, and just again, keep your calendars open for hopefully, I'm hoping that Ms. Alma in June will be able to talk to us soon about giving us some dates in June that we can certainly all attend. All right, anybody else? If not, next agenda item.
Yes, sir. Item 5, presentation. A, 2019 graduation presentations for Northwest Early College High School and Canutillo High School. Number 1, Northwest Early College High School.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Galaviz. Ms. Speaker couldn't be with us tonight, so I'll be presenting the information on our phenomenal 2019 class of graduates for this year. I'm Jessica Harrison. I'm currently the Dean of Students at Northwest. So let's get started. All right, so one of the goals of the Early College High School is to identify and recruit students who are normally underrepresented in college classes and provide them with that access to college courses. So when we look at this year's graduating class, of the class, 47% of these students are economically disadvantaged. We have 86% of them are Hispanic, and at least 25% of them are coming from families where they're actually the first college goer in their family. We've just got a phenomenal group of students who have achieved amazing things graduating with us this year. When we look at this year's seniors, their ACT, 100% of them have taken their ACT. The average score for our senior class was a 22. When we look at the average composite score for Texas, it's 20.9. When we look at the average composite score for El Paso, it's 16.5. So our students are doing amazing in that area. As far as their PSAT, sorry about that, 100% of our students have taken their PSAT, and their average score was a 1069. When we look at the district, the average score is a 910, the state of Texas, a 963, and in the nation, a 1013. Which is a good number.
We're above that.
Great, we are way above that, yes. So here's a comparison. This kind of shows you our students in whole groups when we go back to the 2015 graduating class. This year's 2019 seniors, 100% of them have passed the TSI writing exam. 100% of them have passed TSI reading. We have 100% of them have passed TSI math. We do have 8 students that have enrolled in Math in the Modern World because they did not hit the 350 benchmark for the Math TSI, but they placed high enough to take the Math in the Modern World, which is about 2 points below. So all of them have taken a college level math class at graduation. So when we look at our students, and it's going to be on another slide too, but this year's graduating class, they have earned 5,436 total college credits. And we look at the college credits that they earned at EPCC all the way through the college credits that some of them earned through the UTEP Senior Scholarship. Next slide. Got it? This year we had 61 of our 88 seniors who took advantage of the additional scholarship and attended UTEP. Some of them attended both semesters, some of them only attended one, but out of the 88, 61 of them did do additional credits at UTEP this year. It is the largest group we've had so far. When we look at our class of 2019 as far as their progress, out of this class, we have 85 out of 88 students who will graduate having already completed their associate's degree. There are 3 students that will graduate over the summer. They were short 1 course. And so it could have been, for some of them, it was a scheduling conflict. We have a student who could not take a summer class one year, and so that's where we're seeing that little lag. But 96% of our seniors are going to get their associate's degree before they get their high school diploma. So we're very proud of them. All right, when we look at our 2019 cohort, we originally started with 104 students. Of those 104 students, we had 9 of them that were out of district, and they either returned to their home schools or possibly moved away. When they withdrew from Northwest, they identified they were returning to their home schools. When we talk, of course, to their friends or whoever, you know, we learned that many of them actually moved away. We had 3 of our students who moved out of state. Most of them, they came from military families and they were restationed, and so they moved out of state. And then we did have 2 of this graduating class that actually transferred over to Canutillo High School. Scholarship data. Right now, the earnings of the class of 2019, we do not have a final total yet. The students were given the deadline of May 3rd to turn in all of their scholarship letters and all of their offers. And so on a daily basis, it's, you know, we're getting those offers, we're getting those letters every day. We expect them to surpass the class of 2018. When we look at them, 98% of them have completed Applied Texas to move on to a 4-year university. 100% of them have completed their FAFSA. 100% of them have completed their ACT. When you look at the Applied Texas, we have 2 of them who have not completed it, and they are going to a military school in, I believe it's New Hampshire, and they had parents who attended that military school, so they're going on a scholarship, and they didn't need Applied Texas. So. All right. So then we get to the good stuff. Northwest graduation. This year, Northwest early college graduation will be on Friday, May 24th. It will be at McGoffin Auditorium. This year we are starting at 3 p.m. That is when the ceremony is scheduled for. Audience seating will begin at 2. Board members, cabinet members, you will receive a parking pass from our office manager, and we ask that you please be there at 2 p.m. We will give you a quick run through of the schedule and what it's going to look like, and then we will start graduation at 3. We have a few other senior class events. We have 2 EPCC dinners this May. Our graduating group is so large that we actually had to split it into 2 nights. So the first one will be on May 7th at 5:30 at EPCC. The second one will be May 14th at 5:30, also at EPCC. The EPCC graduation for this spring is Friday, May 17th at 6 p.m. We have a large group of students that will be getting their associate's degree this year. We have senior tea scheduled for May 20th.
May 21st will be our senior banquet, and then May 22nd, that Wednesday, our students will be doing the senior walk at all of the elementaries. So I'm very excited. Are there any questions, any additional information?
Congratulations. The way you're doing.
I just want to congratulate the entire staff, everybody over there. It's just phenomenal work.
Thank you so
Great
much.
job with our kids. Truly, thank you.
We have a phenomenal group of kids. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Item 2, Canutillo High School.
I had a question.
Like 203 or 210, something, okay.
I was trying to open it as a slide as a presentation by an
If you download it, and you can open it. Okay. You have to just download it.
Two.
Right there. See at the bottom? It's just open it right there.
Wait.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine.
Let me go back to the other one.
Okay, no worries. All right. Good evening, school board, President Coronado, Dr. Galavis. Looking at the class of 2019, we have 370 seniors. 3 of them are 3-year grads. So we've had a couple juniors that have worked really hard to make sure that they graduate in 3 years. Our top 10% will be our top 37 students. And of those 370, we have 151 as of the time that I did this report. It will probably go up that will receive a performance acknowledgement over their for their graduation as well. We have 10 students that are still need to pass EOCs. That means that they have not met at least the 3 EOC minimum to be able to be eligible for the IGC. Okay, this group academically with the IGCs and the EOCs are a little bit, there's more than there were last year. We have about 8 more this year than we did last year. But we do have 25 that are eligible. We do have 50 kiddos right now that are at risk, standard. They are failing a core class. They think they have more time, but we've already been meeting with them. We had, right before Easter break, we had senior talks with them, and they have been assigned to a mentor. Each mentor has 3 students. They meet with them, excuse me, weekly. They check attendance, they check grades, and they also have emailed their teachers to let them know if you have any issues, please let me know so I can touch base with that student. So we already have things in place, and we're already working with those kiddos to make sure that we get them across the finish line. We have right now 15 for sure that cannot pull out graduation June 3rd, okay? But they can be eligible for graduation August 1st.
Okay.
Okay? So we'll catch them, but there's just no way, they're just not gonna do it. And that right there, with those 15, if we don't gain any more or lose any, our graduation rate will be right at 96% for this group. So they're doing very well. The class of 2019, we have 170 of them that took the ACT with an average score of 20. We still have not received the March-April testing yet, but as soon as we get that, we'll be more than happy to, we'll pass that on. This year we did do something new on March 6th. We brought in all the juniors and we tested them on a SAT school-wide. So every eligible junior now has a college-ready test score that they need to be able to apply that they can now apply. A lot of times when we talk to them, why haven't you applied? Well, I don't have ACT scores. I haven't taken the ACT, I haven't taken the SAT. Well, they have. Okay, so everybody, we used our funds there at the campus, our high school allotment, and we were able to pay for all the kids to test. They gave us a discount because we had such a large group. We tested 345 of them. And so we're just super excited that those kids have a score and that they're going to be able to apply to college, and we're going to work with that next year. That's also going to help our accountability as well, okay, the CCRP part of the accountability. Graduation rate, again, can't be determined. If we hold at the 15, we're at 96%. And again, as long as we get them graduated by that August 31st cutoff on the accountability when we report, we'll be okay. So, we did have 4 of our students that received National Hispanic Merit recognition. These 4 have received numerous scholarship offers. Their scores weren't quite high enough to earn the National Merit Scholarship, but they were recognized for their accomplishments in with this particular scholarship, and they are going to be able to apply for other scholarships. And a lot of them, these 4 have full rides to where they're going, and so that's been able to open some really great doors for them. On scholarships right now we also have a deadline, but right now our number is 2.7 million in just scholarships. FAFSA grants, we have 872,000. We are waiting for UTEP. They will be joining us May 2nd to give out their scholarships. And right now at NMSU, we're at 875,000 and counting. Dual credit is still pending. You'll see on another slide, we have 150 kids that have taken at least one dual credit class. Usually we end up with about between 5,000 and 7,000 dual credit hours. We get quite a bit of money for that. Military awards, we have quite a few students in this particular class that are joining a military branch, and they're at 6.8 million. So right now we're at a total of $11.2 million. Last year's class had 12 million. We're going to surpass that this year as well. So we're very excited about that. We had 350 of our all eligible seniors have completed their Applied Texas applications. 168 have completed FAFSA. We have a hard time convincing parents that they need to do FAFSA. A hard time. Some factors include citizenship issues, especially in the climate that we're living in right now. There are also issues with, they feel like if they complete it, part of that is eligibility for loans. They feel like if they have to get a loan, and that's not necessarily true either. Or they feel like me, I cuss and scream filling out FAFSA because I know I'm not getting anything for my kids. There's no way. But I also know if they don't, then they're not eligible for scholarships either. So we have to make sure that we're reiterating that to the parents as well. At least 370 seniors, not necessarily every single one, but 370 of our seniors have passed at least one of the TSI, which is why we have so many in dual credit. 150 of them are taking a dual credit class or have taken, and we are continuing to reach our max of 100 a semester for the ACT prep classes that we're paying, that y'all pay for us, and our kids are still taking advantage of that. We did have FAFSA. Every Wednesday we did have people available to help our parents fill out their taxes, and then they could walk over and there was help there for FAFSA fill out as well. Our counselors had our students bring their information in, and we have helped them as well. We did only receive community support for one FAFSA night per semester. By that I mean the Chamber of Commerce. We did our senior talks, as I mentioned before. I did senior meetings on the 1st of March to go over requirements and make sure they understood the importance of finishing strong. And we will have a parent meeting in English and in Spanish in May. And the counselors are continuing to meet with all their seniors as well. Now the good stuff. Graduation, June 3rd, 2 o'clock, Don Haskins. Seating begins at 1. Parking passes will be provided as well as gowns. We ask that y'all be there no later than 1:30, and we'll send invitations and reminders of that. We then do have project celebration at CHS later that evening from 10 to 3, and we are looking for donations for giveaways such as gift cards or anything. So if anyone would like to donate anything, we are always open to that. Oh, sorry, I need you guys there at 1. Okay, 1:30, I'll be nice. There will be a hospitality room available. We will provide you with parking passes and gowns. We'll line up about 1:30. The reason we need you there just a little bit early is we flipped the stage this year. So you remember how we came out of the tunnel and we would split and walk around the stage? We're not doing that. The stage is going to be on the other side. So it's going to give more of a visual, a better visual for parents as they watch their kids come in, and that way they can see everything, and it's more open because nobody sits back where the band is and where the kids exit. So this will give it'll give us more seating, and it's visually, it'll be better for our parents. Like UTEP, it's exactly the same setup as UTEP. And it saved us $1,500 on the cost. We're gonna walk out of the tunnel, we'll go up on the stage, follow the ramp again and up on the stage, and then y'all will just remain standing until all the grads are in, and then we'll go from there. The ceremony will be led by 2 students. Marissa Setasetis and Alexis Hernandez will be our MCs. They'll be officiating and running everything. Adults, we will be just doing brief speeches and the calling of the names, and the students and kiddos will be doing all the introductions, because really the night is about them. Summer graduation will be Thursday, August 1st at 5:30 p.m. at the CHS auditorium. You'll receive invitations for that, as well as the time draws closer. Okay, but that way you can put it on your calendars now. Okay, questions? Yes.
Yes, I have a comment. I want to thank you so much. One of the sessions, and it was a very lengthy one I went to in Philadelphia, was on having mentors for the students.
Yes.
And it's measurable what happens. And I thought, oh, I guess we'd never get to do that, but thank you.
Yes,
How
we do that.
amazing.
Yes.
It's
Absolutely.
right in front line, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to know the percentage, or maybe if you know already, how many students did they join in the armed forces?
A percentage, I do not, but I can get that information for you. I can get you an exact number, and I'll get that for you and send that to you.
But do we have any students?
Oh yeah, we have a lot. That's why if you look at the thing, the military is higher than the scholarship. It's at 6.8 million, because we do have double digits joining the military from this group. But I'll get you an exact number. I didn't ask Gunny because I'm constantly seeing the recruiters and everybody coming in, so I know it's changing.
Yeah.
But I can get you a number as of right now.
I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
wanted to know we're growing, or the
We're growing.
training, or that's good.
I know, we're
Thank
growing.
you very much. Appreciate that, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Rico.
If I have easy question.
Okay.
On the FAFSA, I know it is difficult. Is there anything that we can do? I know Dr. Reyes has been, doing the tax prep and trying to get that.
Right.
I didn't know, I don't know if you could have maybe it advertised in the elementary schools or middle schools.
We can do that as well.
I mean, or the marquees or something.
Mhm.
I know because it's a showstopper.
It is, it's a
For the
fair.
kids, and so anything you can think of that we could do, I'd like the boys to, help with that, okay?
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Anybody else? Mr. Rodriguez?
I just wanted to make a comment on the summer graduation. I know it's critically important, and sometimes it's low attendance, and I think those students deserve the same amount of that given the others.
I agree. I agree. And no, the attendance usually is, we have a low number of graduates anyway. I think the most we've ever had is 8. And generally it's just their families. But we can definitely advertise that, and we'll advertise that and make sure teachers are aware of
For
it.
board attendance.
Okay, but we'll advertise it for teachers too, and maybe we can get those teachers there as well to come in. Well, good, excellent. And one of the things that we are looking at that I did talk about at needs assessment and is working on getting somebody that focuses just on that college and career readiness. And so really targeting and having during the day somebody who can work with parents on FAFSA and things like that, not in addition to other duties, but a college career readiness coach that would help with that. Okay, great. Yeah, so that was one of the things that I made sure to include in my budget as well, because I really do feel that that's a very important position, and I do think, my counselors do a great job, and my at-risk coordinator, my intervention specialist, they all do a great job, but I just think there's more that we can do to support our kiddos and make sure things are getting done.
Thank you.
Okay, thank y'all. Thank you.
Anybody else? I just want to say whatever we can do in terms of helping with the kids getting the FAFSA application in, I think that's really important, obviously. That's a lot in terms of trying to get them out, but
Right.
yeah, it's really.
It is important, and it's dropped across the region. You know, everybody's struggling with it, but definitely.
I mean, I'll show up.
That'd be great. Fabulous. It's a great idea.
And I have a nice free ice cream social.
That'd be great.
I love ice cream.
I love ice cream too.
Everybody loves
Is it possible, if you wanted a position, but, you know, sometimes contract employee could fill that void without quite the expense?
We can look at things like that, absolutely.
Yeah, because I think you really need it.
Okay. And just on a side note,
Afford it.
our baseball team just beat Andrews 5-4, so we took first place. Yeah, that was for first place. I just want y'all to know that. Okay. Our baseball team's going to the playoffs.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a good year.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Graduation always
All right.
so much fun.
All right, next agenda item.
Yes, sir. Item 6, consent agenda. Administration recommends approval as presented.
All right. Before I entertain a motion, anybody?
I would like to.
Okay.
Item 6A5.
6A5?
6A5.
Budget amendments?
Yes, sir. Budget amendment.
Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion at this time. Ms. Rose?
686.
All right.
And just,
David, things. All right. All right, and did you all have a chance to contact administration prior to about touching?
Yes, but she's, Mr. Kresge, she said that she has the answer for me. She didn't have it in that time.
Good, all right.
So I would like to ask Mr. Kresge.
All right, then let's take it in a row. Before, first, we'd like to entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda item with respect to items 6A and B and C, with the exception of items 6A, 5, and 6.
So I move.
All right, is there a second? And B2 also was pulled?
Yes, sir.
All right, with the exception of items 6A, 5, and 6, and item B2. All right, Sonia?
Yes, sir. Ms. Brigham?
yes.
Mr. Coronado?
Yes?
Mr. Payan?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Searles?
Yes.
Mrs. Trout?
Yes.
And Mrs. Iglesias?
Yes.
Motion passes. We will go to 6A5, approval of the budget amendments.
All right. Who decided?
I did, sir.
Ms. Trout?
Yes. When I called them, I just wanted to know this budget amendment, it was $19,000. I just wanted to know the cost of instrumental materials, which ones are, what for, and the livestock scale, what is the price for that, and where was this from, this budget?
This budget amendment was presented by Korean Technology. They're going to be purchasing some.
I'm sorry, would you please turn on your microphone?
Oh, it's not on?
No.
No? Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay. This is presented by Ms. Tracy Andrews from CTE, and they're going to be purchasing some healthcare modules. And they're going to be purchased from Paxton Patterson. There's about 7 modules. Each module, it could vary in price between $2,000 to $2,700, depending on what the equipment that's going to be purchased with it. One of the examples that she did provide was like for the vet med, it does come with like a live model, which they can use like to inject it, and that's what they're going to be purchasing.
And the scale?
The livestock scale, she actually said that they are not going to be purchasing the scale anymore. It is not needed. So all that they're going to be doing is purchasing the healthcare.
The healthcare material.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
So,
Is that?
yes, that's what I, yes.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion at this time
I
to
move-
decide this item.
I move to approve this item.
Do I hear a second? All right, motion and a second, agenda item 5685. Sonia?
Ms. Brigham.
Yes.
Mr. Coronado.
Yes.
Mr. Payan.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mrs. Searles.
Yes.
Mrs. Trout.
Yes.
And Mrs. Iglesias.
Yes.
Motion passes. 6A6, approval of the final payment to Baines General Contractor for the CT Agricultural Science Building, amount $248,869.
Ms. Searles?
Yes, please. Good evening, Mr. Vasquez.
Good afternoon.
I was wondering if you could answer some questions for me. I can very clearly see it's the final payment. Is there a restroom in the facility?
No, there's not.
Are there animal waters for the animals?
No, there aren't any plumbing lines either.
Are there pens for animals?
No, those were never part of the original scope. Mr. Gill had said that the students were gonna build those themselves.
Okay. Is there a vet classroom in the building?
No, there's not.
So where will the children use the restroom?
Well, as I had discussed this with the board before, we had brought an item to the board where we were requesting guidance as to whether the board wanted to continue with this project or do something else. And so at that time, the board said, no, go back and find other ways to utilize the remaining balance. The purpose of some of that money was, of course, to build that restroom. But after the board decided to use the building for a different purpose, we stopped and we told the contractor, we are not going to need your services anymore, which is why we're presenting to you today this final payment.
So is there a floor in the building?
It's an exposed concrete slab.
But there's a floor, but there's no plumbing.
There's some plumbing, there's some roughing plumbing for drainage. Anything that had to be below the slab is already in place.
So
But it's telling us it's rough and plumbing, so there's different stages of plumbing. that
Yes.
needs to be done, but it's available to do the restroom.
Yes, the space, the space for the restroom is there. The restroom itself is not.
I understand.
The fixtures, the doors leading into the restroom, the
And
walls around.
so when the building was moved, up until a month ago, let's just say up until a month ago, I personally was the one who suggested that it's not going to fulfill the needs of the children. And it breaks my heart when I see Marissa Setas.
Ms. Rose?
Yes, sir.
It's getting off topic.
Yeah, well-
We're going to discuss this at a later time. because
It is, but
this
it
is just the
doesn't
final
sound like,
payment.
it is, but it doesn't sound like what he had proposed would be built, was capable of being built. And so I was going to ask, what about the FF&E? Was that money used moving the building?
No, the budget that the board approved
And in fact, there were several amounts approved, but that was just for construction only. Again, Mr. Gill, he had suggested the possibility of reusing some of the existing furniture that is elsewhere in the district. In fact, in the some of the CMS buildings, there's a lot of furniture, and he had seen that. So his original intent was to reuse as much as possible.
That's very good. Okay. But there, even if you came back, which I was thinking at this meeting, they were gonna come back with a possible plan.
Well, no, because
Even
we have
if-
an agenda item for that.
But at the last meeting, we had asked for that, but that's not here nor there. All I'm saying is, there would have never been the ability to have animals at that building. If you don't have waters for the animals, you're not gonna have animals.
Well,
Unless you just want a hose and a bucket.
we had an option
Yes, sir.
of bringing a limited scope to be able to have animals in the building. Again, this is what we were discussing earlier, that we brought this option to the board, but it didn't pass.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Vasquez. So essentially, there is no possibility that that's going to be enacted because of.
There is a possibility,
There is,
right?
okay.
There is a possibility, yes. You were asking about the plan, if we were gonna bring it at this meeting.
Yes, sir.
We were not ready yet. We've had a couple of meetings
Yes, sir.
with the administration. Ms. Andrews has been present as well. In fact, we have another meeting tomorrow afternoon where we're gonna go over once again. The board directive was for us to involve administration, but also the end users. This is something that we're not ready to bring it to the end users yet. So tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have something from which we can move forward.
Thank you very much. And for the record, it breaks my heart that the agricultural students will not benefit from what they ask for. And with that, I move to approve the final payment to banks.
All right, do I hear a second?
I said,
All right, we have a motion and a second, agenda item 686. Second?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez?
One question, just, I know the original scope was at what price that we had budgeted?
The original budget was, I think, 950,000 or so.
Not on this project, I mean on this project, but the original intent and scope, when we looked at right next to Osalamian, I believe there's documentation.
At that time, there wasn't a budget.
What was budget, I know there was, not budgeted, what was the scope of work and how much?
Is that off topic, Mr. Coronado?
Well, which topic? It was yours, Mr. Rose.
So I don't know. The first time that I
In
was.
regards to the scope of work of this is the scope of work for the final.
That I agree is within the range.
So in regards to the original scope of this was, and then after certain meetings, it increased, which we did not include that. Can you just explain that?
Yeah, so the very first time that I was brought to that it was brought to me, the issue about the barn, the previous CTE director had a price from a metal manufacturer, and it was a schematic design of a building. If I remember correctly, the price was about $277,000. However, as I was explaining to her, this was the price only for the metal, or the components of the building.
The originals.
Yeah, yes, and it was, I don't remember the square footage. But,
The original scope of this, remember, you provided a memo and I.
oh, we had one, yes, so, okay, so then later we had another session where we designed a building. I don't remember the square footage, but I do remember that it was the one quote that we got from the contractor, the sole respondent, was $777,000. That I remember because it's 777.
No, the original scope of what the board approved and then it expanded.
Then I believe the cost, if you're talking about the cost for construction for the scope of work was 850,000, 850? 850, I believe, something like around that.
All right. Any other questions? All right, Sonia?
Ms. Brigham?
No.
Mr. Coronado?
Yes?
Mr. Payan?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Searles?
You know, I know these people need to be paid.
Ms. Earls, there's no discussion, it's either.
Yeah, but I can take my time in doing it. It's very hard. You don't understand what an extremely hard decision this is.
Okay, we can pass you, come
yeah.
back to you. Ms. Prout?
Yes.
Mrs. Iglesias?
Yes.
Ms. Earls?
No.
All right,
Motion passes.
next agenda item.
Item 6B2, approval of scholastic level book room libraries to support Canutillo ISD elementary campuses.
Yes,
Utilizing-
ma'am.
I so move.
Thank you, Ms. Rocha. Board, this is the information, well, I would like to talk.
I just made a motion.
And I second.
There's a motion and a second. Ms. Brigham?
Thank you, sir. This is, I did ask about this information. Ms. Rocha, thank you, Ms. Rocha. I had a question, okay? First of all, thank you very much for this documentation. This is what I needed, okay? When you're spending $285,000, I'd like to see what it's being spent on. And I asked for that, so thank you so much. I respect Mr. Barba, Ms. Ariano, Ms. Canutillo, Ms. Robach, yourself, and Ms. Okay? However, my angst was over the sole source, thank you, sir. Sole source. And I do know you're gonna get 15,600 books, but it's still $16. And that's a huge amount of money. And my main question is, why in April? I mean, we have this money, and usually when we get the money, it's supposed to be used for that current school year. And in 285,000 to be sitting and then get it so late. That was one question, and the second question was so.
Okay, so let me answer the first question
Thank
about
you.
the money. You know, we just had an adoption with IMAT also, and we wanted to make sure that we were well within the budget before we kicked in and bought this. So we wanted to make sure that we would have enough money to cover that purchase. So the purchase for IMAT plus the handwriting resource that we also bought additional for teachers was below, and we had some extra funds. I think Ms. Karski could speak on it. So at the time, hey, one of our initiatives has been reading, especially reading in the elementary schools. This was a way, because they're very expensive, and schools are kind of putting them together on their own, and it just isn't working. And it wouldn't be something that would be coming from their budgets.
First of all, thank you so much saying it was coming from the IMAT fund, which is instructional materials allotment. So, thank you. I appreciate that because that makes, it's like dawn coming over my head. I get it now. And thank you, Mr. Petoskey. The only question I have for you, it's on the sole source. Is there anything else we have to do as far as sole source? I just don't want it to come back and bite it.
No, ma'am. According to statute, books are one of the things that are allowed to be sole source. And so the proper paperwork has been filled out. And we also went through the co-op to make sure that we're getting.
I did see that. Yep. And thank you again for that, but I did think for that kind of money. This documentation was wonderful, Miss.
One thing I want to say that you had said about it's a lot per book, but with those books comes the resources and the kits, and we're also getting the training at campuses. So I just wanted to add that additional thing that we're getting. It's not just $16.
You know what? And again, that's an excellent.
And it's in Spanish. We have also for our Spanish.
So we have English and Spanish. Spanish for
Spanish.
We have something, Mr. Joyner, in Spanish.
Yeah, but it's not for our English kids.
No.
And that's what he wants. What other thing, and thank you so much. The only other thing I'd like to say is that I'm going to scale Mr. Earl's thunder. And what I would like to see next year, because I do know they say it's not, it's word translation, Spanish. I'd like to see that in BQ. I'd like to see what the teachers come up with, because, I'm sorry, but vendors promise us the moon and they don't deliver a lot of times. So I would just like to see that. And thank you again for answering my question. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez.
I do. I just want to thank you. I believe you mentioned it at last night's meeting as well. This is something critical and important to the district in regards to reading, having them on a grade level, and aligning our goals around student outcomes that are going to improve our students. So I want to thank you for that. Thank you for providing the documentation. The question I had in regards to those two questions, were those previously asked when asked for that information? Because that's what we discussed as well.
Ms. Brigham asked me last night after the LSG, and so at that time I said I would try to get something before the board met, so that way everybody had access to the information. And so I did. I wanted to get some emails, and then I provided that backup.
Thank you.
Ms. Brigham.
You know, sir, I did follow protocol and ask, but I do not like being double stamped.
I don't think that.
You know, I did do the exact same thing. The minute I asked a question, it's like every single time. Questions why I question. $285,000 is a lot of money, and it is easy outcome. Exactly what you're talking about. I just wanted to look at it.
And that's fine, Ms. Brigham, but we do have also board policy. We have a motion and a second. Anybody else? Not? Ms. Focus?
Yes, sir. Ms. Brigham?
Yes.
Mr. Coronado?
Yes.
Mr. Payan?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Searles?
Yes.
Mrs. Trout?
Yes.
And Mrs. Iglesias?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next agenda.
Yes, sir. It is executive session, item 7. The time is 7:17. The meeting is to be closed under Texas Government Code Section 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074. A, discussion regarding the safety and security plan. B, discussion regarding offer related to possible sale of real property located on Artcraft Drive.